Today, we're talking about cloud banking.
Hey guys, in this video we are going to be taking a look at our cloud banking module. So we recently have switched cloud banking providers. Our new provider will allow you to seamlessly add your bank accounts, and it should offer you much more reliability when it comes to the actual bank connection. And one last thing to note is that it is powered and secured by MasterCard. So with a new cloud banking provider, we do have a slightly different method of adding accounts. So when I click Add Account, I will now see a new window open up. This is where I can either manage my accounts that have already been connected, or I can add a new bank by either searching through this list or just choosing from the popular list down below. Now at this point in time, for time's sake, we're not going to add a new account, but I will talk you through that. So once you select a bank account, you would just enter your credentials. Once you enter your credentials, it will fetch all the banks at that institution. You can either bring them all over or you can just bring over a selection. Once you do that, you'll map that bank account to somewhere in your chart of accounts or create a new account on the fly. And then last but not least is it will ask you for the bank feed start date. If you leave it blank, it'll just go back as far as possible, or you can enter a certain date if you only wanted to go back to that point in time. So I'm going to close this and we'll let our mapping tool pop up real quick. If I were to add a new account, this is where I would map it to somewhere in my chart of accounts. And then once that connection is established, all of my transactions will flow into this table down below. So on the left-hand side, this is all the info that has been sent over from the bank. Everything to the right is what I would then need to fill out on my end. So you can see here that we do have one required field that's going to be the account code. I can manage which fields are shown in this table by going to the columns option. And let's say that I want to also add class in there. I can make that selection and now I have a field to show me a class that I can assign. Once everything has an account code and whatever other fields I want to include, I can either create it as a new transaction or match it to something that's already been created. And I can do that by either clicking this green approve link and doing things one by one, or I can do things in bulk. I can approve in batches and I can exclude in batches. Once the batch tool has run, I can then see how many were successful versus how many have errors that I need to go back in and fix. You can also add attachments directly from the staging area. This little paperclip attachment lets me know what is with an attachment, and you can just add that by highlighting the transaction and clicking this attachments link up top. It might be in a more actions button depending on the size of your screen. Okay, a couple tools that we want to point out to make cloud banking easier is we do have categorization rules as well as merchant name and company mapping. Merchant name will be all the merchants sent over from my bank and then what they are mapped to within CustomBooks, and then categorization rules works the same. We can either create them based on the merchant name or the bank description or both, and then we can assign a company, an account code, class, project, right? Any of those fields that we want to use. One last thing that I want to point out here is the Walk Me tool. So if you're new to cloud banking and you want to take a little bit deeper dive about how to navigate and get through cloud banking, you can follow this Walk Me and then make sure you check that out.